Hey guys, welcome to April real estate market update. But before we start, it is an honor to be recognized among top 10 agents at the office for 3 consecutive months of this year and for the entire last year. I want to give the most sincere thank you to all of my clients, friends and colleagues for the trust, referrals, and always generous support. This month, we have some incredible news to share regarding Alberta population growth and the effect of which they have shifted Calgary real estate market into top gear several months earlier than expected. Tight supply levels are typically only seen during the peak summer months. We have pushed prices higher for 2 months in a row now, going up to over $12,000 in each of February and March 2024. So how is this keep happening month after month? What is it that is driving all this market activity? The survey results are in, and the population growth numbers provided by Statistics Canada explains our incredibly hot market conditions. Statistics Canada reports that Alberta is demonstrating unprecedented growth, adding 200,000 people in 2023. With many of them choosing to settle down in Calgary. In fact, last year saw Alberta achieve the highest level of interprovincial migration ever observed by Statistics Canada since they began tracking this metric in 1972. This incredible population growth has pushed up demand for real estate in Cowtown, bringing the average price of a piece of real estate in Calgary to $597,600 at the end of March, up from $585,000 in February. This marks the second month in a row that we have seen 5-figure increase, both of which are by over 10% over the last year. This is a sharp upward adjustment from what was a very tame fall and winter when the prices stayed pretty close to about $570,000 mark between August 2023 and January of this year. But Calgarians would now need to pay 5% more, that figure already in just 3 months. Sales have also picked it up this month with 2,664 sales taking place in March. We have not seen these numbers since the last August, which has driven down the available supply and correspondingly the months of supply metric most commonly used to evaluate whether we are in a buyer's or seller's market. As you can imagine, we are very much in a seller's market territory, as we have been for over a year now. In fact, we can now say that we have the tightest conditions in our market since 2006, with less of 1 month of supply available for buyers to choose from. We would have expected these tight conditions closer to the peak selling months like May, June, July. To see it as occurring in March is a strong indicator that we will have very tight conditions throughout the busy summer selling season. You might wonder, why is this happening? Well, it is a simple supply and demand. Alberta is positively booming, growing by over 200,000 people in 2023, by far the most of any province in the country. In fact, most Canadian provinces are losing people because they are moving to Alberta. Check this graph right here, which tells you a profound story. Alberta is indeed #1 destination for all Canadians contemplating a move, and as the largest city in Alberta, Calgary has seen many newcomers arriving needing housing. Alberta's relative affordability is certainly playing a large part, given the high prices consumers have to pay for housing in Vancouver and Toronto. Which is interesting is that Alberta has now regained its growth trajectory that has given up during the economic turndown between 2015 and 2020, as we continue to increase our overall share of Canadian population, recently reaching a record high of 11.8. Breaking things down a little bit more closely, we have seen price increases across all segments. Detached pricing is now $739,700, semi-detached is $658, rotan houses are just under $450, and apartment condos are approaching $340,000 mark. Increasing prices are a symptom of a more concerning trend, which is the low new listing to sales figures as we saw the last month. Taking a look at this graph below, you will see a stark difference when this year's numbers are compared to the last year. Sales are up about 10%. However, the new listings are actually down by 4%. The combined effect has resulted in a sales actually overstripping the inventory, something that we have not seen at all in the last 12 months of trading. So if you're a buyer looking to get into the market, is this a relief in sight? Well, to make things a little bit easier, it is now widely expected that the most economists in Canada, the Bank of Canada, will begin cutting the key lending rates this spring or summer, with both CIBC and British Columbia Real Estate Association forecasting rates to start coming down gradually at the beginning of this month. This is a good news for everyone seeking to qualify for new purchases, but also for existing homeowners with a variable rate mortgage. In fact, because of this widely held belief that we will start to see interest rates coming down, we feel that anyone who is about to take on a new mortgage or renew in an existing mortgage should strongly consider going with a variable mortgage product for the next loan, given the general acceptance that rate will start trending downwards from this point forward. In local news, Calgary City Council voted down a motion to take the proposed blanket rezoning changes to next year municipal election. Instead, they decided to continue with a planned public hearing on this matter. This hearing and the vote by council thereafter is surely to be a biggest story in Calgary real estate this year, as the City Hall will decide whether or not to change the base level of zoning to all residential properties from Calgary's RC1 to RCG. This would mean the number of allowable structures on a property would go from 1 to 4. It is a big change. Because of the changes made by the bylaw in previous years, a move to RCG would also allow secondary suites in each of these dwelling units, raising the total number of allowable units on a single parcel to 8. It's a big difference for sure. The public hearing happens on April 22nd and is a part of a months-long process by the city to seek an engagement and feedback from the public before taking the matter to a vote later this year. Now, I won't go into too many details here, but if you would like to know more about the impact of the proposed changes, you should check out my YouTube channel where I explain it into more details. Well, this is it for this month. And what do you think about the market and blanket rezoning? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear. Thank you for watching and see you next month.